Welcome back to Subiaco. The Swans haven't defeated the Dockers here since 1998. They've got a couple of legends, or at least fans that think they're legends here on show today, and they are leading at half-time by 2 points. Rowan.
Well, Matty, I tell you what, I've been keeping a close eye on one of the matchups in the first half between David Mundy and Ryan O'Keefe. Both of those sensational players in the midfield for both teams. But David Mundy's just had the 8 possessions and Ryan O'Keefe has just had the 5. So they're basically nullifying each other at the moment. So both of those players are going to have to find a little bit more footy in this second half, Matty.
Sensational research there by Ron.
Thank you, Glenn.
Well, the thing with that matchup is I think Mundy's on top. I think he's well on top, even though he's only had 3 more possessions. Ryan O'Keefe hasn't kicked the ball yet. 5 handballs. Now, he's an important player. When he gets the ball and uses it by foot, he's a very, very important player in the Swans lineup. To get him to only have 5 handballs, I'd say Mundy's right on top there.
No question about that. He's such a... I mean, I hate using that term, the barometer, but when O'Keefe is up and going, they are just a terrific... Yeah, they're better side with him up and going.
Well, they've tried him in a number of spots. Around the footy, cross half forward. He hasn't had any impact on the game at all. But they were much better around the stoppages in that quarter, Fremantle. I guess the question will be, in such a tight game, is there a team, or which one of the teams has got the ability or the capability to be able to kick 3 or 4 in a row and really put a space in this game?
Well, it's going to take some gut running, isn't it?
It's going to take more than that. Probably a few positional changes. I mean, 4 players, young players, but Hill's only had 4 possessions. Morabito 4. Subin's had 3. They're very much the creators for Fremantle through the middle of the ground. But one player in particular, Roger Hayden, he's only had the 4 possessions. And a couple of weeks ago went forward and kicked a couple of goals. So maybe that's up Mark Harvey's sleeve, is to get Roger Hayden more into the play. He's a playmaker, but he's very good around the goal mouth as well. So they need to get some goals, and you're right, Matty. They need it. One of the sides here need to have the ability to kick 3 or 4 consecutively to win this game.
Well, I would think that McFarlane forward would be an obvious move for Fremantle. There hasn't been a tall forward on the ground that's been dangerous, not one. Best forward's been the little blokes for both sides. I'd throw him forward.
Starting down back.
Of course he is, but I would throw him forward.
Hill starting down back.
He'll have pushback because he hasn't been able to get the ball.
They're trying to get him off back leg.
They're trying to get him onto an opponent and try to work it that way. But
Shaw's going to him again.
Well, I would not make that.
You wouldn't change that move for sure.
No, I wouldn't. Even if he wants to, you see that. Even if he wants to get to McGlynn will slip out the back. He's smart enough. So you create a 2-on-1 there.
Yeah, Mundy's gone forward, so it's dragging O'Keefe
to a half-back flank.
A little bit of verbal from Moore as well.
Well, he did play a lot of cricket, Jared Moore.
You say he's good at sledging.
Well, that's what happens. You sit in the field for 6 hours. You've got to think of something to occupy your time if you're just a batsman.
Liam Pickering, of course, an accomplished cricketer in his time.
So I tell you.
2-point game. It's still anyone's. And we're at second half is underway. Jude Bolton just the 1 kick in the first half. Expect him to get going. There's O'Keefe with a right boot clearance. McGlynn diving mark. Liam.
Well, we couldn't have written it any better. The 2 players we talked about. O'Keefe gets the first kick, and McGlynn playing in front of a bloke who's not used to playing down there, and that's Hill. So worried about getting to McGlynn. This will be his 3rd goal if he can kick this, in an ideal start for Sydney.
3 goals, if he does get it, from 6. The little man is playing big at the moment. Right on 50. Hits it pretty good. Straight through. 3 goals, McGlynn. Swans further in front.
Well, it's from a nothing 50-50 in the end. Both sides are in it, but just kept the ball line moving forward here. Kepler Bradley had to be a little bit better in this centre bounce down there. He just overread it, or underread it, and didn't get any body onto his direct opponent, Mumford. He read that much better in the flight of the ball in the air. O'Keefe comes off the half-back line, wins himself some possession, and simple footy in the end. Play in front as a forward, get a half chance, make the most of it.
Let's go down to Rowan Smith.
Well, Matty, David Mundy's basically just playing on the wing now, or moving himself as a half forward, and Ryan O'Keefe is actually following him around. They were both in that centre square last one, but he's just moved himself out now.
Thanks, Rowan. There's a whistle too high to be a Jude Bolton free kick.
Mark's back here, guys.
Clearance
Right
to
out, guys.
Sydney.
You can follow him through. Right out.
And do the line out at centre half forward, and then split either side here, the Swans forwards. Try and create some space.
Not the best kick from Jude. He's going to kick that out of bounds, I think.
That's a win for Fremantle, because Roger Hayden, who was on Kieran Jack, he was just giving him too much leg rope there. If it had been the kick a little bit better, he would end up getting the ball onto his left foot. It would have been at the top of the square.
Swans by 8. Mumford to contest with Bradley. Bradley just took it out of the ruck.
It's on the ball.
Fell in his back. Advantage.
Advantage paid. It was the free kick to Kepler.
Lucky one, I thought.
Yep. Here's Fife on the wing.
Fee on short.
Still got to be
Kick
legal
off the one
tackle.
step.
Off the one step. It's going to bounce from McPhee, though, so...
They got nothing. Yeah.
Okay. He's got Johnson in the middle. Mumford put a hand
Yeah,
in.
that was good play by Mumford.
He accelerated to the contest, didn't he?
Well, for a big bloke, he's one of the more mobile ones in the AFL.
Kennelly wanted the 1-2. Instead, it goes from Shaw to Moore. And over the top, Hanbury. He's up quickly. Subin. Composed. And hits a target.
Got to get it over to him.
Morabito has Broughton.
He's
Got no one up forward, though.
Cheers, mate.
Gee,
What a kick.
that's an outstanding kick. It's a beautiful kick from
50.
Morabito.
Right. 50 metres.
50 metres to McPhee. There's a soda. Docker fans will be happy.
Now, I'd like to see the replay here, what the 50 was. He said high contact to McPhee. Coach is shaking his head. But Morabito was one player we identified at half-time that needs to get into the game. Good early start for him. Played on and showed a nice left foot back inside the corridor, and Adam McPhee leading into it.
McPhee kicks the goal. Swans, their lead is cut to 2.
Well, you're right. It was good play. They played on. Actually, Hanbury was the one that should have actually forced that ball out of bounds. He actually got on the wrong side of his opponent, but the kick by Morabito was a beauty.
Oh, was that? Is that 50?
I didn't think
From
so.
Mumford coming over the top here.
That's a difficult kick.
It's okay. Here's the mark. Here's Mumford. He comes over with the left hand. Is that a legitimate intent to spoil, or is that reckless?
I would have thought it was a legitimate attempt to hit the ball, but anyway,
Well, the question is, do you think that was 50 metres?
I don't.
Yeah, mate. Straight back on the line, guys.
So McPhee kicks the goal. The Geesh is just unleashing the cord there.
Do you think he thinks it was a 50?
Do you think that was a 50?
I don't think it was.
Something
was a bit harsh.
Something of a debate during the week. But the Dockers are back to within 2, as was the margin at
I
half-time.
don't quite get why they're not using Zach Clark at the centre bounces, because they are getting smashed out of there. They need a taller big bloke in there. Fair enough, Bradley around the ground, because he's been okay around the ground, but there's something about that centre square stuff.
McGlynn was front and square, but he was well tackled. Pressure from Sydney here. Goods on hands free. Crowd wanted holding the ball. Kieran Jack is there.
Out of ground, does he, Kieran Jack?
Nah, he's strong in the hips, isn't he? Moore with some time. Across the face, he spots Bevan. Intelligent kick. So Bevan, we saw him have a tough shot from the boundary. This one, very gettable.
You've got a metre from that line.
Yep. I was going to say, get your finger off there, Jack.
You guys could sort something out.
Here you go.
Well, I nearly put it on the mute button there. That was a good build-up.
Bevan from 45 metres, curls it back, trading goals here at Subiaco.
Well, Roger Hayden, he's coming off here. Look, he had to take this ball over the line. Stays in play. That's a poor effort by Roger Hayden. And then he stands here and watches. He spectates, doesn't get himself back involved. Ball is transferred to the other side of the ground. And now Roger Hayden has come off, and I don't think the coach is too happy about that effort, more so than anything. And from an experienced player that's having a poor game, he's only had the 4 possessions.
As I mentioned earlier, Paul Bevan doesn't kick a lot of goals. Usually finds himself in the back half. He's got 29 in his career. And the margin at 8. 2 goals to Sydney, 1 to the Dockers. After they were pretty hard to come by in the first half, just 5 apiece. There's Clark in at the centre bounce. That's what Liam was after. Mundy coming through. Robertson waited twice, and then going to back himself to run. Eventually, hands off to the man that was there in Shammer. Back to Clark. Crichton.
It's a good handball by Crichton.
Yeah, it was the right one to Pavlich. Walters at the back. Kennelly at the front. Ball at ground level. McPhee strong in the tackle.
He's been very good there today, Adam McPhee's tackling pressure's been pretty, it's been enormous here as you come in, bang of the body, and got a goal for De Boer before from a tackle and a Shepherd.
No prior opportunity from the umpire. Morabito, snapping and kicking an absolute brilliant goal.
Well, you got to take your hat off to Adam McPhee. He caused the ball up through good pressure, good tackle, and then you've got to get dangerous in your forward 50 when you've got a stoppage like this. Push forward. Is there a third man up? Well, just pushed it forward and just got goal side. Give a young player like that or any player an opportunity, he'll make the most of it.
Here's a good look at it on this angle here.
That's a good goal.
That's a beauty. Well, Bevan kicks one at one end.
Yep.
His opponent, Morabito, answers at the other with a spectacular snap.
What would have been pleasing for Mark Harvey was an area they haven't been good, which is at the clearances all day. They've been able to generate a goal out of nowhere, really.
Clark winning that knock. Kennedy in first.
Well, they've got Clark in there. You can just see the difference in height. Kepler Bradley, as game as he is, is giving away a lot of height. You don't want to give first hands away. I mean, there's not much of Zach Clark. You can see how skinny his arms are. Did you see that?
What would they be likened to, his arms?
Oh, a couple of pieces of linguine.
McPhee around the corner.
You waited all day to say that.
And Richards takes the mark. I'll expect the check in the mail figures. Bevan crunched by McPhee to get 50.
That's silly.
Well, he was committed in the air.
They're just making some wrong decisions in the wrong time, Fremantle. Kepler Bradley won. Michael Johnson won the ball in the ruck. As you see, just come through. It's a bit reckless. Well, it's very reckless, not a little bit. No legitimate attempt at trying to get the ball there.
They move it quickly. Short. Malcheski. Into the pocket goes Dennis Lane and he spills it.
Well, it's a let-off because that would have been a shot at goal from an undisciplined free kick off the half-forward line for Fremantle. They've got to regroup here.
Should have done better.
Dennis Lane just, yeah, he had that.
See the
Swans
numbers
win the clearance,
they
though.
just get well organised. Kieran Jack on his left foot.
There's a good smother, though. It came from Shammer. Jack kept going. Subin, well, looked up and saw Captain Kirk right there, but he won the free kick.
He had to, but he got gang tackled by two players, and Kieran Jack, who ended up kicking the ball in there, their work to keep their ball alive in their forward line has been exceptional today, Sydney.
It's goal for goal. 2 points is still the margin. Walters is crunched. Surely he didn't have an opportunity to mark there, and he wins the free. Michael Walters, or nicknamed Sonny.
That's it there,
He comes through a spell as he just lays it off to Robertson.
Move it on. Play on.
Bradley off the bench. Malcheski, Bradley diving over the top. Morabito going to back himself. Still, Bevan got it back to McVeigh. Swans maintained possession. Looked up. Shaw. Yeah, it was a good kick in the end.
Goods is one out. I'd be nearly going one-on-one to him. I think he's exhibited down there. He's not a bad get-out, Adam Goods. You can see they don't want to bang it down the line long.
It still might get to him, though. Now, that is an intelligent switch, though, from Kennelly. If it makes it, yeah, it does. And away goes Marty Matner. Balances up, hits the target. Oh, Jesse White's built the mark. And he's down. And he could be out.
He's having a stinker, Jesse White.
Oh, he gets the benefit of the doubt. Listen to those fans.
Is he better off having a shot on goal? He's outside 50. Try to give his full forward Jesse White the benefit of the doubt and bring him in the game. But Luke McFarlane was pretty hot on his tail there. Open goal mouth. Would have been better off McGlenn having a shot at goal. Sorry, Marty Matner.
He's only had one handball, no marks, no kicks. Jesse White, he's been used a bit.
He's spilt 2 chest marks.
He's dropped a couple.
Yeah.
He needs to go back and really compete hard in the air because he's going to have McFarlane who's trying to stand in front of him. He's got to impose himself here, Jesse White.
Play on. Play on.
He's having a dark day. Could be known as Jesse Black by the end of it.
Here he is.
Here he is. He tried the big mark. Crichton at ground level. Here's Shammer on the burst. Through the middle, he looks up, misses Johnson. It's a poor kick. What will the Swans do on the rebound? Hanbury wanted the 1-2, didn't get it. Instead, it's Marty Matner.
Didn't need to bounce it then,
Well,
Marty
he could have
Matner.
kept going, and he put his teammate Hanbury under pressure. Well, here's Hanbury there.
He runs flat out at the goals, Marty Matner twice, and then he's given it off. Like, he's got a head of steam up. Have a shot on goal.
Let's get into Rowan Smith.
Well, Mike Pike's just come from the ground, boys. Just copped a knock right to the bridge of the nose. So they're just trying to stem the flow of the blood as we speak.
So, at the moment, the Dockers trying to run it out. Johnson back to Crichton. He's caught.
He's been all right, young Crichton.
He's got something about him that he's very quick in his decision making.
Boy from Tassie. This is good pressure by Sydney.
Got to hit this target with Johnson.
Now they're right on the line.
Out of
Johnson
bounds.
marks.
Out of the full.
Couldn't convince the umpire.
Nah, it was a good try.
Yeah, very good try.
He was having none of that, the boundary ump.
Move it on.
Richards now.
Play on.
He's going to send it exactly back where it was.
Play on.
Goods couldn't take the mark.
Play on.
Wanted the free kick. Wasn't coming. Shammer to Grover. Handball forward looking for Robertson.
See, wasn't a bad handball, that.
Yeah. Robertson just gets his
that's
kick in
downfield.
time. 5. Bevan hops over him and picks up the ball. Kennelly.
Now, Kieran Jack's coming off the ground here.
He may get it back.
He'll end up getting a touch. Oh, no, it'll be an easy one for Jude Bolton.
Jude Bolton will come into the play.
You can see the interchange there.
Well, they're mucking around with it. Hanbury's got a good sidestep. Got past McPhee. Kennelly into the pocket.
Help me out, Jack. Play on.
Well, Dennis Lane.
Free.
It did look, you have to question how he got to ground.
Yeah, just this one here with Marty Matner. As soon as he gets the ball, he bounces. Now, there's a player on his left. I'm not quite sure why he needed to bounce the ball after 2 steps. Players get themselves, I know they like to get balanced, but gee, if you're running from 55.
Oh, lovely knock to McVeigh, who's on the move. And he kicked it low, and it's marked right on the last line by Ibbotson. McVeigh should have kicked that goal. Nice set play now. The
Should have kicked the goal, Manny, but Fremantle should have been more defensively minded in that stoppage.
McPhee seemed to be hands in the back from Grundy. We're away now with Morabito.
Good play.
Kept it in. Fife is his target. Measured pass again from Morabito. Fife wants to take on Bevan. Goes once, goes twice. On the left boot. Looking for Bradley. On the half volley. He's swamped. Ball up.
Better build up.
It was a good build-up. Morabito again.
Yeah, good quarter. He's a good size. He's very fast. Morabito.
Very
And strong too.
Strong.
You forget how young these players
Well,
are.
remember, I was just going to say, it's in his first year of AFL footy.
You wouldn't know it, would you, when you see him down at ground level? He's huge for someone that young. But anyway,
This is a
Jesse
better
White's
build-up.
into the game.
Here we go.
Over the top of Shaw.
Keep going.
He's
here.
going to take them on. Reece Shaw
Not a
kicks
good
to
kick.
Lane.
Not a good
One-on-one, set him up for the spoil. Here's Broughton. Can he get it to Morabito? Spots him now. Playing on. Michael Johnson his target. McPhee the big leap. And Grundy the big spoil. Clark waits. Oh, how's the attack on the ball by McGlynn? He's down.
He's hurt too. That was sensational attack on the 40 by the little bloke.
Well, he's reporting
Well, it shouldn't be reported.
Zach Clark here.
It can't be reported
rough
because you're big. But I'll tell you what,
I reckon he was more vulnerable here for a serious leg injury, Zach Clark, because of his size.
see, that was a ferocious attack on the 40 by McGlynn. Sensational, really.
He's still down.
As tough as they come.
He's been their best. He's got 3 goals. He's going to come to the bench.
Bleeding, is he?
Move it on.
Smithy, how's he looking down there?
He looks like he's got a massive black eye, and I'm not too sure about his forehead as well, but they keep pointing to his forehead, so hopefully he hasn't got a stress fracture or anything like that.
So here's Jetta. Well, McGlynn's still coming from the ground. Jetta's caught.
Great tackle. It didn't get rewarded.
Robertson didn't give up.
Well, he said he handled it.
Did he handle it?
He said he did.
Bevan, 60 metres out, sets it up high. Spills over the back, beats everyone, and finally goes out. The Docker fans will have their say.
Have a look at this. Have a look at this for a tackle on the footy.
Yeah, well,
It's not reported.
He's not going to get suspended. I wouldn't worry about that.
he's got his eyes on the ball.
Look at that.
The bloke dived into him.
Talk about going low and strong. That was fantastic by McGlynn.
There was. There's nothing Zach Clark could do. So the little terrier comes diving through at you.
I don't think they suspend you for being clumsy.
Stephen
Oh, well
Hills
done.
Done well here.
kept it in. He's got it now. And he drives it long.
2 on 1.
Jack caught high.
Did that
Crowd have
well.
got some voice going now.
Yeah, they're right into it now. They're just a couple of their younger players are starting to try to get in. We've seen Morabito's had a good quarter. Stephen Hill on that occasion won a 50-50 against Shaw. That's the type of play that's going to bring the crowd in, excite them. Good
And
play by
Fife.
Fife. He's started to lift in this quarter.
Let's have a look at this.
He's just running into his knee.
Yeah, exactly right. It's not the big
Just the
fella's
size is
fault.
difference there.
And then the right knee comes across.
Looks
I
a
reckon the big fella was more vulnerable there for a serious leg injury.
Looks a bit sick and sorry
Yeah.
down there. Oh,
Bradley,
He's taken it out.
Bradley, and he bangs it through. The Dockers are in front.
2 goals directly from stoppages this quarter. The Morabito and the Bradley. The last 2. So they've been able to rejig what they're trying to do there. Big Kepler that time out of the ruck. I mean, he's tried so hard, Kepler.
He's done that real well against a very good ruckman.
Humphrey will be very disappointed with that, though.
Filthy at himself.
Pushing a little bit of a shove, but all good as far as I'm concerned. Bradley's up to 16 touches. Now a goal. It's been good.
It was a wonderful goal from Bradley, but the timing of it, I think, is important. They've got their nose in front. The crowd is up. There's a different feel about the game at the moment.
Well, Smithy, there is a massive lift in the crowd.
It certainly is. Piggers, they're chanting the Freo, Freo, so they're getting into it now.
You do that well, Rowan, as
Yeah,
Mundy breaks away. Walters.
Come up to it.
He
Good
does use
delivery.
the ball well.
And he
Yes.
Look at
just
that
shoots
free
it
kick.
back to Hazelby. On the stretch, takes a good mark.
Fair kick. Crowd's asking for 50. But I just reckon it was because of the pace of the ball moving through the air, the flight. That was great hands by Paul Hazelby. We can talk about Walters' kick. Look at that off the left. Well, that's a fair mark, flat out by Paul Hazelby.
He's a very good overhead, though, Hazelby.
Back-to-back goals be important for Fremantle.
45 metres out. Hazelby
Got it.
nails it. Dockers by 10.
Well, important clearance in the middle of the ground for Fremantle. An area they've been well beaten here today. But Mundy and Pavlich were just able to get the ball out here. In the end, you see Mundy's kick. That's a fantastic kick.
I like how he got on his-
Second one, just got on there straight away.
Yeah.
Knew, saw the lead. And there's a good kick there by, in the end, Paul Hazelby finishes off, kicks his second.
Two to Hazelby, and once again, Walters involved in the build-up.
Oh, his work when he's got the footy has been terrific.
Morabito in the middle of the ground now. He's got a tight tag on him by Daniel Hannery.
They've won a couple of clearances of late, the Dockers. What can the Swans do here? Off the ground went Pike. Kirk buffeted around. He's finding it hard to get free.
He's in trouble. No, he got it out.
Well, it's a lack of efficiency of the Sydney Swans. 32 inside 50s for Sydney to 22 of Fremantle. But this quarter in particular, younger players have all looked dangerous for Fremantle.
Bolton. Just a half a fumble from McVeigh. Could be costly.
Brian, no prior opportunity held in the tackle.
He's had 16 touches, McVeigh, but only one inside 50, which is unlike him.
Ice pack on the head for McGlynn.
Well, Matty, I actually said before a stress fracture. I meant a compressed fracture of the forehead. They've actually checked that out and they've given him the all clear now.
Thanks, Rowan.
How would you get a stress fracture of the head? Would that be from a headache?
Yeah, I mucked that one up, Piggers.
Line.
Kick forward by Kirk. Good spoil from Duffield. Trying to get through was Hayden. Duffield win again.
They're out here.
White to Jack. Jack's going to keep it low. And he's going to kick a goal.
Yeah, good answering goal by the Swans. Kieran Jack involved again. He's had 16 touches himself.
Where they've been good too, Liam, is not allow Fremantle the affordability to get their game running from their half-back line. So they've just put mass pressure inside their forward 50. Keep the ball alive. It was out once. Roger Hayden and Duffield were unable to get that link of handballs. Sydney were into the play, ended up getting a goal. Kieran Jack, he's first. He's been a lively player for Sydney today.
Freo chance still there, but the Swans have it back to a 4-point margin. Pike and Johnson in the ruck. Out the back it falls. Shammer trying to bust through the tackle. It's still going. Jack.
Into his back, free kick.
Fremantle free kick. It's Pavlich. Spreading quickly, Mundy. He can go all the way if he can get a kind bounce. Now he's got time.
Yours.
Drives it low. Walters. 1, 2, yes.
Gee, he's been lively.
It's a good mark.
He's a go-to player. You've got Zach Clark and McPhee down there. As your tall options, and Johnson and...
All 177 centimetres of him.
Has he been kicking goals in the waffle?
Yes, he's been very lively. His form's been up. Playing a variety of roles too, back in the waffle, and that's what he needs to do. Today his role is the key forward.
We did see with his other 2 set shots, he's got a very natural kicking action. So provided the distance not going to be a concern, which it shouldn't be.
McGlynn was busy for the Swans up forward. This man is doing the damage for the Dockers.
Oh, he's kicked that off his knee.
Kicking action.
Yeah, awful.
Terrible.
He got very close to the man of the mark there. It was important. He's not happy mark of him, nor would he be, because...
He's kicked a flat punt there. I just wrapped up his kicking action.
He's kicked it as badly as he could, Liam.
He did get a bit close to the man in the mark. I agree with you there, Jack. Giving him a little bit of an out there.
Kick in from Pike, looking for Mumford. Clark over the top with a spoil.
Yeah, they do that well.
Clever bit of play by McVeigh.
Just it was a little tap out. It won't be on the stat sheet, but it's the reason why they're pushing forward.
They're streaming down the ground here now.
Get the long kick on the double switch here.
White.
This is where he could get Mundy. Well done, Mundy.
Mundy did extremely well. Duffield caught. Kennedy trying to drag him over the line.
Pinged him.
Holding the ball.
Nah, well, he was trying to take the tackle. I actually think that was a good decision. Did about 2 lots of 360s with him. Is that right, Matty?
Yes,
but
that'd be 720.
Is there a prior opportunity?
Well, you've got to at least make an attempt to get the ball out.
Tough angle for Kennedy. But in what has been a very entertaining third quarter,
He doesn't know whether he run around or kick
he's
the banana.
going with the banana. And he's missed. He's got to be home.
Oh, the crowd are filthy about this.
Here we go.
Look at he's taking it in the crowd.
There you go.
Was there an opportunity there?
I thought Kennedy was right on him as soon as he
Look at
got
this. This is what I loved.
McVeigh.
Didn't take possession, McVeigh. Really clever. Just a little tap on.
Anyway, all that kick in is
Roger.
straight out of bounds on the...
I reckon he got the benefit of the doubt there.
You can hardly argue with the umpire. He's standing 1 metre from where he marked
He's in
it.
perfect position, wasn't he? Just for a second, I thought he's kicked that into the crowd. But anyway, Broughton's going to keep it down the line, looking for McPhee.
It's been okay this quarter too, McPhee.
Quick hands to Mundy. Hayes will be the target again. Rising over the top was Grundy.
Yeah, not the right option to go to.
Richards spreading it to Hanbury. Up and under kick from him. Should suit McFarlane, didn't take it.
Sure, he should have
mark.
been going the mark there.
Jack out in front of Goods. How will it bounce?
Oh,
Tapped
well
over
done.
by Goods, but standing in the way and doing enough though was Broughton. How will the umpire see this?
Same umpire too on the other side. They're giving it to him. They're not going to miss him.
Take a look.
Oh, he raked that back in.
No, that's exactly right. That was holding the ball.
Pretty fortunate, more. Here's Shammer. McPhee again.
Yeah.
Hands in the back or chopping the arms.
Well, he's presenting McPhee. Maybe they need to push him deeper forward and him become the key forward, because he's having a good quarter. He's leading up to the contest, but maybe he could be a bit more effective in their forward 50.
Grundy.
See, Hazeby's the man they're going to a lot, and up high here. He's not the key forward.
I think that was good play by young Crichton.
Yeah. He's been good today.
He's not going far. Without looking at the stats, if I said to you, who's had the ball the most today?
I would say
You looked at the stats.
Dan Henneberry. I did have to admit I had a little sneaky one. He's had 25 touches.
He's
disposals.
been very good.
But he's unassuming.
Well, he's out in an under-type player, isn't
Yeah.
he? Where you look at the end of the game and he's had it 30 times.
He's had 13 handball receipts, so that, on this big oval, he's certainly working hard.
I'm never going to ask you to do anything again. Here's Goods.
See Mike Pike there. He's the longer option. Goods won't make the distance here, so he'll have to pass off.
He gets a lead. Hayden gets a spoil. Broughton caught. Grover goes to ground quickly. Hayden tries to shrug the tackle.
Well, he's trying
Jack,
to play for the free kick
he
there.
tried to pitch it. Here's Kieran Jack, though. There's nothing except go again and again. Oh, quick hand, Shammer. Good work to Roger Hayden, but he set Morabito up, who quickly kicks it
That's
out
a good
wide.
kick.
He knew the ball was out there. That's out. That's a great catch.
It's a gully catch.
Bruce Yardley would have been happy with that.
He would have. West Australian too.
Yep.
Wonderful fieldsman in the gully.
Johnson.
You don't get a free kick for trying to hit that.
Yeah, there's the question.
To Roger Hayden.
He's asked it, and the umpire, Matthew Nichols, has said you don't get a free kick for throwing your head back.
Ball at ground level. 5.
Both grab the ball, my ball.
Here's the
have a
ball.
look.
Oh, that's
Great
terrific
mark.
stuff, isn't it?
So a catch like that since Bradley Hogg.
Play on.
From the bounce.
What game was that?
It was a Shield game I was watching here at the Wacker many years ago.
Well, Jacko, you've got your wish. McPhee's actually been moved to full forward.
Yeah.
But I just can't understand why they don't put Pavlich at full forward and give him the whole 50.
Yeah, because they're getting belted in the middle of the ground, and they just need someone to stop the blood flow, because Sydney have been on top in that area.
Handball.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jack. I think that they'd love to have Pavlich in the
Look at
forward
the
line.
ball. How's that?
Wow, have a look at that.
He bought in and got the footy, and he gave it
It's
over
his
to Broughton,
goal.
and Broughton kicks the goal. Goal assist, Matthew de Boer.
And every Fremantle player has just gone over to him. I mean, that's the barometer you set. That's the beauty about this good up-and-coming young side. And you've got players like Matty de Boer taking a great mark at the back. Subban's coming off, as we saw there. But look at him coming here. He just got one mindset. Head down, burrow in, win the hard ball, which he did. Broughton kicks the goal. You create something from nothing here. 1 on 3. There goes 2 Sydney players who should wrap that up. Experienced playing O'Keefe. But I'm Matty de Boer.
Broughton kicks the goal and gets the Dockers at an important time again out to that 9-point lead. Now, Nick Subban has gone off. You can see, we'll take a look. There we go, head clash
Yeah.
With his teammate.
with Dylan Robertson.
Yep.
Important here for Fremantle. They don't concede a goal. They did just before half-time, and they're away here, Sydney again.
Hanbury gets, well, it's a poor kick from Hanbury. Turn around, and Broughton, the goal kicker, says, I'll take that.
Well, Melchesky was wanting a handball received from Dan Hanbury, but he basically got in his way.
Play on.
Here's Hanbury in the action again.
Jeez, and everything today, Hanbury.
He's had a big quarter. Up to 27. He's had 12 for the quarter.
Mumford, he's going to get another
13.
one. But his kick is short again. That's 2 poor kicks from Hanbury. And there's Hayden, who's going to just try and slow the tempo down a bit here. They'll be very happy with a 9-point lead at 3/4 time.
Move it on. Play on. Play on.
Play on the call.
Play on.
Well, they haven't heard it.
No one's heard it yet.
You've got to yell it out, umpire. They can't hear.
Jesse White wasn't going to run over the line just yet.
Roger, you have.
Whoa, Roger.
He's having a stinker.
Just this last bit of play, I'll have a look at it in a sec.
Kennedy's kick in long. Goods! Couldn't quite complete the mark.
Here's Melchesky.
Malcheski hooking it back to the danger zone.
well done.
Oh, courage.
Well done.
Now, that is Jared Moore going back into the pack. Knew contact was coming. And that is a timely mark for him. Let's hope he's okay, because McGlynn's already off.
He's in a bit of trouble.
So it's been a great quarter of football.
Let's have a look at this. They protected him pretty well at the back.
He's head on the McFarlane's knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. He's got blood rule. Blood rule too, Mike. You're bleeding from the nose.
Accidental contact, but just he fell back into his knee or his shin. Even hurt McFarlane's knee.
Here we go. It's another look, and you'll see
Bang.
Mike Pike cops one as well. He's had to come off with the blood rule.
That's on McFarlane's left knee, which he had problems with the medial ligament, had that long spell out.
Well, Mike Pike came off before, boys, with that blood streaming from his nose, so it just looks like a reoccurrence of that one.
Jared Moore's very wobbly.
Real trouble here. Now, Smithy, can they get McGlynn back in, or is he cooked for the day?
It looks like he's still holding ice over that the right side of his face, pickers onto his forehead and underneath his eyes. So, but Jared Moore looks like he's in a world of hurt here.
Yeah, no,
He can't see enough.
He's tried to get going, but he can't.
Gee, it was a good mark, courageous mark.
There's Ben McGlynn. So Sydney have some real issues now. Two of their small forwards and two of their tough little in and under players.
Well, this is exactly the reason why you don't want to reduce interchange rotations, for exactly this reason.
Just interested why the stretcher didn't come out.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the wobbly legs. I mean,
It's going to take a long time to get him off still.
It doesn't make any sense that he's not on a stretcher. I mean, he's not going to be Stewie Dew down there, who's on the coaching panel. Worried looking Paul Roos. Now the stretcher's coming out. Well, it just seems silly that he's standing there on
Well, the
wobbly
umpire
legs.
should have taken more control there. They wasted a fair amount of time.
And here it comes.
And it's the extra long one as well.
Not that it's game time, but yeah, extra.
Jared Moore's not that tall.
No, I'm not sure.
He's sitting up, which is a good sign. But just some confusion as to why that stretcher didn't come out before.
Well, maybe because they are one down. Maybe they thought they don't want to cart him off on the stretcher, not have him back. If he's going to be okay, let's just get him through the interchange. But on what the evidence we saw with the wobbly legs, you wouldn't think he would be okay.
Well, the question is who's going to take the kick.
Well,
Pike was closest. He's come off with the blood rule.
yeah, well, I wouldn't be giving the ball to Mike.
What's
I think
that?
well, Ruckman in general.
Thank you.
No, I think I'd be. You get one of your good kicks just scavenging around there, just hoping to get it.
Who would be foraging
If
for
it
the
was
kick?
let's put it this way: if it was North Melbourne, I'll guarantee it wouldn't matter where he was on the ground. Bert Harvey would have the ball right now.
Yeah.
Back in our day, Buddha Hocking would have found a way.
Yeah, he's the best.
Geelong,
Boomer Harvey.
He was a beauty for it as well.
Dennis Lane has the ball in his hands at the moment.
Adam Goods is there. Kieran
Dennis
Jack's
Lane gets
standing
it.
there.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that Jared Moore's okay. He really did try to get on his legs. The Sydney medical staff are just a terrific team.
The cart, there was no point having the cart out there, was he?
Well, it was
They'd done a couple of laps, went up, went down, went back, did nothing.
This is a critical kick.
It is, isn't it? Because the margin's 9, it gets it back to 3. And we've had 3 points at quarter time.
He can't possibly miss that.
Dennis Lane after the break. 30 metres out, directly in front, celebrates a goal. So in the dying seconds of this quarter, Dennis Lane gets his second. Mark Harvey looks on.
Well, he's got to go straight to one of his senior players in Roger Hayden. He's having a poor day. He's only had the 7 possessions. He had the ball out and took a mark. It was about a minute 30 left, and you could see, you mentioned it in your commentary, he was going to ice the clock, kicks the ball out of bounds in the 4 and gives Sydney an opportunity to penetrate their forward 50, and they do. Courageous mark, as we mentioned, and Dennis Lane, after the interval, goes back and kicks the goal. 7 seconds to go.
Jared Moore.
He looks better there now.
A glass of water. Well, let's hope he's okay, because they have, by the looks of it, lost Ben McGlynn. It could be down to 20 men.
Tough bits of play by those two boys that are off the ground, though.
Oh, yeah.
Got his kick.
Quick kick out of the congestion. Hanbury went past it. So at three-quarter time, this game continues to be a close one. For the third time, the margin is within a kick. This time again, it's Fremantle leading by 3. We are in for a terrific last quarter. Don't go away. Kick forward by Kirk. Good spoil from Duffield. Trying to get through was Hayden. Duffield win again.
They're out of here.
White to Jack. Jack's going to keep it low. And he's going to kick a goal. Round 20 game, it was an important one for both sides, and it's been tight the entire day. Fremantle led by 3 points at quarter time. The Swans by 2 points at half time. The Dockers now leading by 3 points at three-quarter time. And we are in for a close finish. Let's go to Rowan Smith on the boundary. Rowan, a few blokes in the wars in that quarter.
Well, Matty, it was certainly nice and busy in the injury front down here. Firstly with Nick Subin from the Fremantle Dockers. He copped that knock right above his... You can see his left eye there. It's nearly virtually closed. They've spent a lot of time icing that up at three-quarter time, but he was just complaining of a little bit of blurred vision. Then we're going to move to the Sydney Swans with Ben McGlynn. I spoke to Dean Moore down there on the boundary, and he's actually quite sick, and he's just still holding that ice just below and above that right eye. So they're actually going to have a look at that during the week to see if he's actually got a fracture as well. And Jared Moore, well, he's still down the rooms with that concussion, boys, so he's still struggling with that. So the Sydney Swans down 2 players, and Nick Subin looks like he's going to take his place in that last quarter.
Thanks, Rowan. And I guess my question to you two gentlemen sitting here, is that going to affect the ability to rotate? Because Fremantle are using interchange at big numbers.
Pace, yes, they are. Oh, well, it's... With McGlynn out and Moore down in the rooms, it certainly restricts Sydney's ability to rotate players, and that'll fall in the hands to probably stretch Sydney's defence. So Mark Harvey's been very good at doing that all year. He'll look to his bench to try and win this game of football because it's very close. We saw Morabito get into the game, and Matthew Pavlich is starting in the middle. Fife. But one player in particular, Luke McFarlane's played back. He's only had the 5 possessions, and he's had no real impact on the game. Him and Roger Hayden have been well below their standards. A couple of undisciplined acts by both of them too, which has resulted in 50-metre penalties, and Roger's ball kicked out of bounds on the full when it was just a relatively easy kick. Sydney got that goal through Moore's injury, or Moore's courageous mark. So I'd like to see Luke McFarlane go forward. A big presence, with Morabito starting in the goal square. So McPhee down there.
Matty, I reckon, well, I would think that it's heavily in favour of Fremantle now with the lack of rotation. 2 running players off the ground for City's going to make it pretty tough.
Who is going to win this contest? 1 quarter to find out. Set to go with Clark up against Mumford. Ball out the back. Mumford got a call from Hanbury. Pushed it out in front of Bolton. Gets a bad bounce, but he had McVeigh backing up. Back to Jack. Trying to squeeze it through. He did. Hayden to clear for Fremantle.
Got Zach Clark. You can't see him.
It's got Pavlich, who's got no one attending to him.
Run and carry it.
Kicks to the centre half forward position, but no one at home.
The ball watching.
Well, it wasn't a very good kick.
No.
It was intended for ball, and it was there in the mouth. The forwards have got to lead up to it. And I don't think it was that bad a kick in the end. Sydney just read it better, and Ted Richards read it a lot better than De Boer. He was just lazy forward at that occasion.
Move it on.
Well, Richards' kick went wider to McVeigh. Now he's going to head in the Mumford direction.
Very stronger there, Zach Clark. Don't concede.
Oh, don't assume that your player's not in the context.
That's right.
Assume that he's always in it.
You need this bloke to lift wide. He did a couple of nice things in the 3rd quarter.
There's that handball again from Mumford. Jack. Well, they get a little trip.
Free kick.
In old days, I'd say that was a professional free kick.
Just a little ankle tap.
Yep.
Been busy again, Jack.
Now, they've got Mike Pike as the long option, but he's a kick and a half away. He's going to have to present up as well.
Into the pocket he goes. It's hard for Jetta to beat a couple there. Coming through Hanbury. Gets the 1-2 with Kennedy. 40 metres out, tries to screw it back and kicks it out of bounds on the full. His kicking's let him down a bit today, but he keeps finding the ball.
He's still had a good game. Kicking is a little bit of an issue at times, but he's had 19 handballs, so his first possession stuff's been great.
He easily end up with a 40 possession game here.
Yep. Well, he's got a great work ethic.
Because you're talking about players who can win the game for the Swans. Adam Goods is a one for me. He's just had the 12 disposals at the moment. He's playing at full forward. Don't be surprised if he moves himself into the midfield and becomes a dominant player in this last quarter.
Yeah, it hasn't worked for Goodsy today. Hasn't had a great game. He's had his hands on the ball a bit. I'd like to see him play on Pavlich if they're in the midfield, one-on-one in the middle of the ground, because they'll give each other a bit of room.
Mumford gets it again. So he was smothered off the boot. Hanbury didn't take it cleanly.
Gee, that was good by Broughton.
Broughton did. Shammer gets it from 5. on the left boot. Leading hard is McPhee. Now he's going to come back through the middle, or is he?
Well, this is now they're going to present up. Michael Johnson's trying to present up on Kennelly.
On there, Jude.
They're so far off the kicker. They're kicking a bit away again.
Pavlich to Duffield.
On there, Mike. Play on.
Trying to work things out. Here, the Dockers trying to get a loose man. Morabito. Long
good
ball.
kick, actually.
McPhee kept running.
Went to ground. Had to hold his feet, McPhee.
Good pickup by the big man.
The big man's having a bright start with his fourth term.
Because he's playing on his own. Zach Clark just is in second gear.
Oh, here's a go for big Mike Pike.
Big Mike.
Jeddah to Mike Pike. 20 metres out, runs in and kicks the goal. Sydney hit the front.
Well, for one of the few times this afternoon that Kennelly's been able to break clear at half back, and he's so good at carving it back inside. Like, he'll get the ball back in the corridor. His initial look is always inside. And see, it's the first time he's really been able to do it. And then away they went. When this was good play by Lewis Jeddah and good play by Big Mike, but also good play by Mumford back there at a contested footy back there on half back. Good build up by the Swans and a good finish.
As we know, he recently signed on for a couple more years. Good news there.
Yeah.
Jared Moore walking around the boundary.
He walked just straight past me then, Matt. He actually tried to get into a little bit of a jog as well, so don't be surprised if he comes back on as well.
But Mumford is having a real influence so far in this last quarter.
Oh, gee, that was good play by Jack.
He's a clever player, isn't he?
He's just a goer.
Yeah. Jeddah.
He's a bit better than a goer, actually.
They got a mismatch here.
White. Had the strength, had the height, well picked, Len.
Well, there was a mismatch. But Lewis Jeddah just took an easy, uncontested mark. Roger Hayden, his direct opponent, they're just anticipating or waiting for something to happen. But don't assume that your player's not going to get it. Kieran Jack won the half ball inside the centre square. It was a 50-50.
3 metres, go.
Lewis Jeddah kicks it to the advantage of Jesse White. And young Subin is up against Garrick Everton, sorry.
Hasn't had a big day. He's just had the 2 kicks, but we've just seen Pike kick a goal. Now can White do the same? He's missed.
It's a bad miss for him.
It was a bad miss.
Gee, it was good play all the way back to the middle of the ground by Kieran Jack. Sometimes that's all you can do in the middle of the ground, just throw it on your boot and hope your forwards are in front. And on that occasion, Jeddah was. He's shaping as a dangerous player, Lewis Jeddah.
Involved in the last 2 movements.
Yeah. Give him some space. I reckon he'd love playing here. And that was the concern coming into this last quarter. When you're 2 down and they're running players, you've got to try and create some run to win the game. But they've done it well so far.
It was a good kick by
Lovely
Duffield.
kick from Duffield, wasn't it?
He saw Fife there for a long time and got
This is where they're falling down at the moment, though. They're not getting anyone free at half forward.
It's that stop-start footy they played in the first quarter.
Grover. McFarlane slipping. He's going to have to go back. And hits Robertson, who can in turn go to
He's got to
Hayden.
open his vision.
Little chip over the top, but Hayden's got time. He can go. This the crucial kick.
Stephen Hill's pushed hard here.
And
Umpire. Hands are right in his back there.
Right in front of Rowan Smith. Do you think there was a bit of a shove there, Smithy?
Well, actually, because I wasn't watching. Yeah,
That's a free kick,
that is a
boys,
free
every day
kick.
of the week.
Hands in the back, but
I'm sure
boys,
it's not a ball.
just a little bit of a concern down here for Ben McGlynn. The Sydney Swans doctors actually walked over to the Fremantle bench to speak to the Fremantle doctors, maybe about going to see a specialist here in Perth. We can just see him talking to the Fremantle doctors now, so they are a little bit worried about Ben McGlynn.
thanks, Ron, right on the spot there. But meantime, Big Mike Pike took it out of the ruck, got caught holding the ball, 50-metre penalty, and Kepler Bradley now just go through, slot the goal, easy as you like, and he'll put the Dockers back in front. The lead changes once again. It's Subiaco.
Well, they'll be extremely disappointed there, Sydney, because they got off to a good start. They've had a couple of shots on goal, and he's not happy, Paul Roos there. Look, he's taken it. There's the free kick. He's dropped it.
Yeah, what's the 54?
Not sure, Liam. Maybe there's a bit of chit-chat to the umpire, because it doesn't look like there's anything afterwards.
There you go. It's against Kieran Jack.
Oh, for dropping the ball.
He said he knocked it out of my hand.
I'll take a touch, wasn't it?
I tell you what, crucial in a tight game. We'll have another look if we can.
Well, Bradley's got 2. Dockers pinch a 2-point break. Goal for goal once again. There'll be no surprise to see this game won on the last kick of the day.
Canterbury again.
Gee, that's good play by Canterbury.
Jetta's got space again.
He put a big fella up forward to kick to it.
There's another mismatch.
Oh, White, it might bounce through.
Free kick.
Rush through. Margin to 1.
Let's have a little look here. Okay, so Kieran Jack's got it in his hand. He hasn't even got the ball by the looks of it.
No, he's
It's on his stomach.
Yeah.
He says it did
nothing in
back
it.
to him.
Nothing in it.
Well, it's a free kick from 50 near the boundary, or it's one in the goal square.
Meantime, Crichton has it for Fremantle. Pavlich getting involved in this last quarter. He's presented 3 times. Hands over the top to Morabito. He's within range if he can get past Mumford. He does. Inside 50 he goes. Morabito with a long bomb. Crowd were up on their feet. So was I, Glenn, just to behind.
Well, he's one player that certainly, they think it's still a goal, but he certainly lifted his game after half-time, Morabito. He's the one that got to get the ball more into his hands, because he can kick a goal, he can be quite creative for other players, and that's what they've lacked, is that creativity to bring other players in the game. Heel down, not many possessions.
Well, here's an interesting decision by Richards.
Ever.
It's gone backwards.
It's nearly gone.
He didn't have anyone really to kick to then. McVeigh's got to find Grundy, and he does.
One-on-ones all over the ground here. I didn't mind what Richards did. That sort of breaks the play up a little bit. You've got to have a bit of guts to do it, especially late in the game.
Grundy's kick looking for White, who's ball falls for him.
Not a great hand.
Now Chesky under the pump there. The ball's not out of play yet.
It's being pinged. I reckon he's implied the team prior opportunity there.
Jesse out! Jesse!
Talking about that for a while, Matty.
Yes.
If your teammate tells you into trouble, it should be prior opportunity.
Wasn't the best of handballs. He didn't have much room to move. But anyway, here's Hayden. Just chipping it back to Wibbertson.
Heels on.
Straight back.
He's got to get it to him. Oh, Roger. It's taken a long time.
They're going to basically run.
Yours, mate.
Into the pocket he goes. Big pack forms. Walters, Crumming. It spins off the side though, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Paul Evans kick. Yeah, that's it.
As the clock ticks down, crowd starting to get very anxious. It's going to build up to a pretty big crescendo, I think. Canterbury again. And he's missed the target.
Swans need Ryan O'Keefe desperately to get into this game. Just 2 kicks for the day. 2 kicks and 6 handballs. Hasn't taken a mark. Mundy's been very good. He's only had 12 touches, but he's been a bit better around the clearances. But for the Swans, they'll need every bit of run they can get. And he's a good runner, we know that.
McVeigh, he almost handed it over to Jetta. He got the handball out, but it somehow spilled out to Fremantle. Gang tackling from Bolton. Clark's tackled, and that's out.
Lucky that was on the boundary side for Paul Hayes to be there, because he did take the player on. Whether it was correct disposal or not, but the umpire was on the other side of it. So it's a win for Fremantle here. They've got to get something from this stoppage.
Play on.
Sydney win it though, and it comes to Kirk.
Yes.
So him into trouble too.
Yeah, there wasn't much room there, and Kirk taps it out.
Throw it in.
Important couple of minutes here. Important clearance. Jared Moore doing some stretching on the boundary.
A lot of numbers around this footy.
Play on.
Mumford won the knock. Stolen by Broughton. Ball bounces in again. Hanbury fished it out to Kennelly, but he's not sure where to go. And the Irishman runs back the other way. Kicks it high. White couldn't mark it. Goods tackled. McPhee won it. Back to McFarlane he goes. Runs himself into a bit of trouble. Here's Crichton. Drives it low, but it's cut off. Need a switch here, Sydney. Kennelly's in trouble, but O'Keefe's onto it now. Kennelly the 1-2. Running off half-back as he likes to do, kicking long. Jetta, he's an important player in this last quarter, Jetta.
Is he ever? Don't be surprised if he looks at McPhee and goes, you know what, you want to have a race? I'm going to run, I'm going to take you on here.
Take you on, yeah.
Kicks into the pocket. Mumford stretching. Another good mark to Mumford.
Gee, he worked hard to get into that position there.
He's been dictated to Zach Clark.
He spots O'Keefe, misses him. McFarlane, Kennedy right with him. Good tackle. Ball spills out. Duffield and Mumford are over the top. Now it comes out.
They're out here.
O'Keefe, Kennedy, off the side of the boot somehow, and it'll be a free kick to Matner for a high tackle. Sydney, a chance to get back in front.
Yeah, I'm not convinced the Kennedy kick was meant for Matner, but it's got there anyway, and he's won a free kick for a high tackle.
It's clearly there.
Certainly there. Well, he's a beautiful kick on the run. We know Matner is.
Cheers, mate.
But 80 more possessions than Fremantle this afternoon, the team. Yet they still trail by 2.
For yet another lead change. Matner kicks from just inside 50. As soon as he hits it, he celebrates. Swans hit the lead again.
Well, they need to do something with Zach Clark, because Shane Munford is just dictating to him all around the ground. He ended up getting the mark down there because he pushed forward, and he's just extending his direct opponent's inability to be able to run hard. But their ability to win something from nothing inside their forward 50 today has been a highlight. They won't go away, Sydney. You know that.
Goal to Matner, the 9th lead change. Let's go to Rowan Smith.
Well, Matty, Jared Moore's been running up and down the boundary line. He's itching to get back on, boys, but he went off with 27 seconds to go into that third quarter, so he can't come on until the 19.5-minute mark because he went off on the stretcher, so he's got to be off 20 minutes.
He's got another 5.
Yeah, he's got another 5 and a bit minutes to go.
Sydney win the clearance. It comes from O'Keefe. McVeigh trying to work De Boer out of the contest. Jetta again.
There he is.
He's going to put on the afterburners here. Jetta takes on Robertson. 1 bounce, 2 bounce. You little beauty.
Yeah, straighten up.
Yes, he's kicked it.
Well,
That was brilliant. That was just brilliant. And we've been wanting it all
and you
day.
called for it too, Liam.
Well, you know, it comes all the way back to the centre of the ground, and that's been their big inability today to get it out of the middle of the ground. But this was just electrifying speed. He knew he had speed on him. He's a left-handed bouncer, which kept him balanced. And look at that. That's brilliant. A brilliant goal. But they have been beaten out of the middle, 18-4 out of the centre square. You're not going to win too many games of footy unless you can get that part tidied up. Brilliant.
Wonderful individual effort from Lewis Jetta. He kicked a few behinds as we're talking about, but that is what people come to the football to see.
And he's been threatening all day.
Yep.
He's had a good game, but now up to 16 possessions. He's had 2 shots on goal.
He's been in everything in this last
He
quarter.
has been in everything.
Talk about where you need to get something happening, and it's right now. Fremantle, they need to get something happening in their centre square setup. They've got Mundy in there, they've got Morabito, and they've got Pavlich with young Clark. Oh, they need to somehow force it their way here, but they haven't been able to do it.
Play on.
Here they go again. This time Jack caught. The Dockers must answer here. Still going. Hanbury's there. Ibbotson wins the clearance.
Still mine.
Walters went to ground. Grundy stayed on his feet, so did Bevan. Big switch here because Hanbury's out.
Hanbury spread it. They're going to lose players everywhere if
Now
you get
Kirk will spot him and Hanbury can keep going. McPhee's going to chase. But Hanbury's going to cut back inside. Well, not sure about the kick there, though. Still running Sydney. Kieran Jack on the left, into the pocket, looking for Dennis Lane.
Clever.
Taps it to Bolton. Oh, McFarlane. Somehow Sydney made a meal of it. And here go the Dockers on the rebound. Fife waits for it.
Yeah, Zach Clark had to use his body there to get Shane Mumford out of the way.
Oh, Mumford stayed on it, did pretty well in the end. Forced him
terrific.
And that is just sensational work from the ruckman.
Well, Paul Roos...
They have to make a change here, Fremantle. Sorry, Pickers. They've got to get Zach Clark off. They've got to get either Michael Johnson or Kepler-Bradley on Mumford. He's having too big an impact here, and on that occasion there, Zach Clark just had no involvement. But you see the ball hit the ground, and Mumford tackles, brought the ball down the ground.
That was wonderful play by the
Here he
big
is
man.
again. He threw that out to Goods. Wonderful pass if he's back at the SCG with a different code. Kennelly.
Gee, they've been good in this last quarter, Sydney.
Ball's going to go through everybody except Duffield. Again, they're not sure. Pavlich kicks in hope. Kieran Jack should be first to get there. Oh, bounces.
Got a filthy bounce.
Yeah, favoured. Robertson. Oh, Jack tackled him well. Got back to ball.
He got a kick out of it. In the back.
Still Sydney again.
No, 15,
Not
play
15,
on.
Hanbury. Got a man cruising past in Malcheski.
Nice.
His kick is going to fall short. Stephen Hill.
Saw the Swans players coming in late. If you hadn't been able to get it to
Yeah,
Goods.
there's 3 on a 1 there.
Or Shaw.
This is where they're breaking down, you mentioned before. They just can't penetrate out of the back 50 here, Fremantle.
That's better, though.
They're down by 10 points. You get the feeling they've got to get the next goal here, the Dockers.
That's a better kick.
That's a beautiful kick. Broughton doesn't know Mumford's coming. This time, there's a bit of
nice
room
kick.
for 5. This is a crucial kick.
The Swans have been able to get it to 10 points on a number of occasions today.
Fremantle
And to
get them back.
To the credit of this young team, and look, you look at how young the likes of Fife look. They're a team of babies, really. So it's been a great effort by Fremantle. Mind you, Sydney have got some injured players. But it's goal for goal here. A good kick coming into 50.
20 gone.
This
1 metre tight.
to get it back again to a one kick game. Nathan Fife
He pushed it
starts
right.
it out right. It stays there.
31 inside 50s to 49 in favour of Sydney. So they'll think that they should have done the job by now, really.
31's a very low total.
It's a low total, but of the 31 entries, well, they've scored 19 times, Fremantle. So when they've got in, they've looked dangerous.
Yeah.
But they have been flooding a lot of numbers back into the Swans forward line when they've gone forward.
Yeah, that kick's out of bounds on the full. No one touched it, so the kick for the Dockers. Johnson quickly. He's not sure.
Well, he's got to back himself here. Go to the top of the square or go for goals.
Pavlich has got a mismatch.
Well, he's playing on, standing in the goal spot on McVeigh.
Yeah.
He's going to put it at the top of the square.
He's going to get Pavlich take a run at it.
Yeah, there's no one there.
Except the host of Swans, and it's punched out of bounds. So Fremantle have a chance to reset here.
And Jared Moore's come onto the ground, Matty, as well.
That's good news for Swans fans, but also good news for him personally that he's out there. So, as we know, McGlynn won't be coming back out. From the throw-in,
Oh, no.
Bradley got it out.
Brilliant goal.
Got it.
Shammer kicks the goal that keeps the Dockers in the game.
A rare win at a stoppage for Fremantle, but they will not go away. O'Keefe complained to the umpire about something, but that's just slack. Look where he's standing off the pack. So when the ball comes in, he's standing on his own. He's 15 metres out from goal. That's poor defensive play by the Swans. They'll be disappointed when they see their setup there.
Good handball, Bradley.
Look at him standing out there. How can you have, in the corridor, you're standing on your own, 15 metres out from goal. That's someone having a snooze, I'm sorry. Disappointing for the Swans.
Well, he's been reading the script, Byron Shammer. We're going to one-kick game. It's going to go all the way. Wonderful snap, and Bradley has been very good today. Over 34,000 people, and they've found their voice once again after Sydney got out to a 10-point margin.
Just getting belted here in the middle of the ground.
That's true, as O'Keefe wins the clearance, but Ibbetson's going to mark. How do they spread? They've got a couple out here, one in Mundy.
He's got to run and carry the ball, Mundy.
He's got room.
Sydney push numbers back. Malcheski's by himself.
Robin,
This kick is important.
Not sure why.
he can kick a goal. Well, he went into the pocket, and he's kicked it beautifully to Subin, who's a left footer on the right side here.
I'm not quite sure why
No one
O'Keefe
come up
let
to
him-
it. Yeah.
Well, no, why O'Keefe peeled off and let him take the corridor. He would have been better to have stood with Robertson.
Well, you can see that left eye of his almost closed over.
He looks like a panda. Big kick this.
This to put the Dockers in front once again. Subin.
He opened the face beautifully.
Oh, did he what? That's a super kick from Subin.
Good play. It was well thought out between Dylan Robertson and Dave Mundy off the half-back line. The one possession, he runs and carries. Look at the goal mouth open. No one coming at him as pressure. Now, he knew he was too far out, but put it to the advantage.
Ryan O'Keefe made the wrong choice there.
Yeah.
Instead of
No, you're
attacking
right.
from the wing, would have forced him into one spot. He gave him the corridor, which opened up the opportunities. They could have gone either side
Look
there.
how he came out. That was the most important part of that. Good goal.
What a terrific kick from Subin. 2 quick goals to the Dockers. They're back in front by 3. The lead has changed once again.
See Hanbury on the bench there. He's had it 36 times. Dan Hanbury, I wouldn't be having him off for too long. 6 minutes to go in the game.
They've been winning the centre clearances, the Swans.
winning them. Been smashing them out of the centre. They've got no result.
Kieran Jack.
He's just so lively. There's a spear man in here, Roger Hayden.
Spoil came from McVeigh. First to it, Bradley. Took it clean. Bounced off.
Did that well.
Clever handball to Hayden. Away goes Roger Hayden. Off the bench comes Kennelly.
Didn't see Kennelly.
He takes on Subin. He's not sure where to go, though.
Good pressure from behind.
Malcheski spreads it wide to Richards.
Fremantle pushing numbers back behind the footy for the long kick in.
Mattner.
Need to do that.
Goods.
Attack.
Hooks it into the pocket. Hooks it very long indeed. And they can set up. This is where they've been dangerous.
That's where they've been dangerous. That's a win for Sydney.
Mumford is there.
Kepler Bradley's got a big 5 minutes here against one of the better ruckmen in the competition.
Pavlich is there as well.
He fumbled that.
Mumford working hard on hands and knees, trying to get it out to a teammate. It's still alive. Goods.
Line.
At last, a ball up. 5 minutes remaining. The margin at every change has never been greater than 3 points.
A lot of people around the stoppage, as you can see. Look for the play with the movement's the most dangerous.
Mundy read the knock. Bradley off the side of the boot, out of bounds on the full. But there's plenty of numbers in there. Sydney are going to find it hard to hit a target here.
Just go back.
There's no room to move as far as leading goes.
Are they going to try and go all the way back and go around to the other side?
Well,
or is he going to just set it up to the square?
I'd nearly set it straight at the top, make someone stand underneath it.
They've got place like Lewis Cheddar down there.
He's going to hope for a big mark by either Pike or White.
Play on.
Knocking it down, no crummer there. Shammer. Kieran Jack arrives and drags him down.
Good decision by the umpire. The crowd were asking for in the back from Shammer.
No, he rolled you in the tackle.
Yeah, there it
Right.
is.
Yeah,
Good
right.
decision.
25 touches today. 8 inside 50s for Kieran Jack. Been a very good player.
Well, Kepler Bradley, the only one up there.
Well, I need to clear it out a bit here, Sydney.
Well,
Set up a wall.
Mumford's behind the play, so he's called Mike Pike in.
Go this side.
Well, you set the wall up, force a couple of the Fremantle players to come out of that area.
Play on.
Pike won the knock. First to it, though, Crichton. McFarlane. Caught. Robertson, no room. And we have another ball in. You get the funny feeling next goal wins.
Well, you've thought that a couple of times today, haven't you, really, with Sydney have got out to 10 points, but never been able to get any further. Fremantle, to their credit, have been able to answer every time.
Play on.
Bolton went without it. Morabito didn't.
Line.
Pretty tough getting a kick in there.
Oh, yeah.
That amount of
We've got
numbers
every
around the
player
footy.
on the ground
Inside.
past the centre square. Have a look at that.
It's a great camera angle.
Only Fife and Kennelly outside of the back 50 and Marty Mattner.
Play on.
It's almost as if,
Play on.
well, Mumford just got hand to it. It's almost as if you've got to wait for a kick to come out. McVeigh, the smother. Jack
He's
shrugs the tackle. Can he get a mark in forward 50? He can't. Goods on top of Ibbotson. Slaps it back out. Hayden slides in. It is so tight and so close, no one can get free.
There it is.
Oh, good smother.
There's no room to move. Mattner thought he was a chance.
Too high.
Too high. Fremantle free kick. Off you go, boys. Start running.
Well, Steve McVeigh awarded that free kick. He was a long way from the action, so probably had a better camera angle.
What's happening down on the bench, Smithy?
Not much, Piggers. I think everyone's just a little bit tired. I think the players actually don't want to get back onto the ground. They don't want to make a mistake, especially in the Sydney Swans forward line.
What fresh legs to come on for Sydney, because they look like they're lacking a bit of run at the moment.
Hanbury's just come back on. Kennedy's just come back on, but Fremantle have just made 3 changes with fresh legs as well.
Bradley's just exhausted.
Well, they can milk a minute here, Fremantle. Unless someone from Sydney gets back, he'll go back again. We should.
He's going to kick it high.
That suits Sydney.
Well, Zach Clark's at the back. Mumford.
There's a couple of hands on that, I think.
Sure it was.
Yeah. Zach Clark, he's not the matchup out there. They've taken Kepler Bradley off for probably a minute, but when Zach Clark's on Shane Mumford...
Goods! He went for the big hanger. Sorry, Jacko, but it could have been a match winner. Sydney pressing. They know one more goal might win them the game. 3 minutes remaining.
I think Lee and Fremantle are going to try and win this game, not save it. Look at the lead. Gee, he got a nice ride.
No, it's a good time to take a minute off the clock if you can. They had a loose player in defence. I would have used that.
Mumford has been outstanding in this last quarter. To Hanbury. Hanbury's kick is low, right to the square, and we've got a 2-point game.
Well, Mumford got that through the ruck because Zach Clark's not putting any physical pressure on him, and Mumford knows that. He's exposed him every time he's played on him, one-on-one.
Here's the throw from
Nice handle. Nice handle.
Mummy. He's done a couple of those.
He has done a couple of those. Dan Hanbury up to 38 disposals. He's been good.
I've just got the funny feeling that Dockers can win it with just some clean possession. But is a mistake going to be a 4-point mistake on the premiership ladder? Plenty of players around the ball again. Mundy, De Boer, can't get free.
Dangerous players in this area are the ones sitting off the pack, not the blokes in and around the pack. Try and get some speed outside this pack, the Swans.
Kennelly's trying to get them out of there, saying, no, if we clear it out, they may kick it back to us.
And all the Fremantle players are bringing players in there.
Yeah.
It's amazing coming out of that.
Broughton to Mundy. Now Crichton's decided to take it on.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Robert
He's got to go down the line. He's got to go down the line here.
They've got some room. Duffield.
Oh, that's
Mrs.
not
Johnson.
Dangerous kick.
Grundy. Throws it on the boot. McVeigh backpedaling. He's in position. He couldn't take the mark. He's on his hands and knees. He handballs it forward. He wants Jesse White off the ground. And he kicks it.
He's got it.
It's been a quiet day for Jesse. But he kicks what could be the winning goal.
Well, coming out of the fence, you must use the ball. If you're going to use it short, unfortunately Duffield's missed his target and they just kicked it forward. McVeigh, just to stay in the contest after dropping the mark, was brilliant. The handball was a beauty, and well done, Big Jesse, because you've had a stinker, but you've had an impact in the last quarter when it's game on the line stuff. Now, this is an area that the Swans want to close it down here. They'll get numbers behind the footy, and they'll make sure that they make a real contest in the centre of the ground.
Jesse White with a very important goal. Just his first.
Yeah, Sydney
But it was the
numbers.
white one.
Sydney push a heap of numbers back. Malcheski by himself. Goods by himself in Fremantle's forward line.
Do not ride Fremantle off here, boys.
2 minutes remaining. Every possession crucial now.
Hill
is running.
Free
Free kick.
They've got an opportunity in Fremantle.
Walters has been in everything.
Yeah, we're just going to be a bit careful
got a
about
cramp.
here.
He's cramping up.
How does it play on?
Not sure why, but he gives it to Mundy, who sets sail from 55
Someone's
metres out.
gonna take a mark.
Big leap over the back.
Hazelby, he had a chance.
3 points. Well, the script tells us that Sydney is supposed to win by 2.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
was 3 points Dockers, 2 points Swans, 3 points Dockers. Kennelly taking his time.
He's come off Walters.
Yep.
Has he done a string, Smithy, or is it a cramp, you reckon?
No, it's
cramp. It's a
definitely
cramp,
cramp because the way he come off, he was actually running faster than me, therefore normal.
Now, how can the Swans milk the clock here?
Well, they're going to make sure, Fremantle are going to make sure they haven't any loose players in defence, and Henry's loose. Someone's having a snooze. I think it was Broughton. It's got to be closer than that.
Oh, Bevan's going to kick it up. He's going to kick it to a contest. Oh, strong Mike. Strong Mike. Jesse White.
Big Jesse.
Right at the right time of the game.
They're out here.
And they're out.
Dylan Robinson had just had more awake to that.
Grundy's got further. He's got Kirk further afield. Sydney streaming down forward. If they can get another mark, they'll win the game.
Well, you just want to hold it and hold it and hold it and be forced to kick it if there's nowhere to kick. You want to
Short to Matner. Missed the target. Matner kept it in. And he's legged. Now Matner can wipe off 20 seconds here.
Yep. And they need a long target in the goal square. So one of the big blokes, Jesse White, there's not going to be much value at centre forward. He needs to go to the goal square and be the get-out kick. And he's going to force his way down there now.
This is it. The game is up for grabs right here. O'Keefe takes it. And Sydney will win.
Well, gee, it's been a gutsy effort by Sydney with the players they've had out. Such a young team. He hasn't had a big impact.
White and O'Keefe have been quiet, and they're going to come up with the winning goals.
Gee, that was a good mark. He's had a good last quarter, right? It's been important.
And they're the two players you called for, him and Jesse White.
1 metre out. That's it. That's here. Now.
It's a great gutsy win by the Swans.
He's on the mark. 20 seconds gone.
O'Keefe to seal the match and to give Sydney their 11th win of the season. A stutter, a kick, a goal, 4 points, Sydney Swans.
Wow, what a fantastic win. The Swans, in the last quarter, they were challenged, they were injured, they were hurting bad. They lost two of their best runners in Moore and Ben McGlynn, who was probably their best player until he went off injured. Going against a side like Fremantle, who were young, but gee, it was a gutsy win.
Well, they hung in there, Liam, and that was the most important thing. Fremantle looked like they're going to blow it out, but really the stats will tell you, or would suggest to you, that they should have won by more, Sydney, but they're undermanned a little bit, Fremantle, and at the right time they were crucial. But Rowan Smith, who's he got down there?
Daniel Hanbury, what a game from him.
Thanks, Matty. Well, Dan, that was one of the toughest wins all year.
Oh, two bikes down. We got the call from Ruzzi at three-quarter time, and even Mark Stone, our midfield coach, used to say, look, a few years ago, Bloods would have, come through and come on top, and this last quarter was massive with Benny and Doggy, Jared Moore injured, and the boys really dug deep, and I mean, Ryan's last goal there was just sensational. It's an amazing feeling, yeah.
You haven't got a good record here at Subiaco, but these two teams today are fighting for, probably 5th and 6th spot for a home final.
Yeah, it was a huge game. It was do or die for us, and we really put a huge emphasis on it, and we sort of knew if we won today, we'd give ourselves a really, really good chance to play finals, and we've got another 2 tough weeks ahead, but no, it's just an unbelievable feeling.
38 possessions today yourself. You just hung around Mummy just for a little while, just a few of those handballs around the back.
Yeah, I butchered the ball a bit in that third quarter, and a couple of blokes were sort of blown up for not handballing to them, and I made a few bad errors, but look, it was just awesome to come over for the win, and it's just sensational. All our supporters have been are great as well, so it's been an unbelievable day.
Not going to keep you any longer, mate. Well done, fantastic.
Thanks. Cheers, mate.
38 possessions for Daniel Hanbury, the rising star favourite, and he just continues to be a terrific player. The Dockers had their chances. Great game of footy. Never more than a goal in it all day, except for the last kick.
No, it was, and that's 148 interchanges, is that, Liam?
Yeah, 148 Fremantle had today, and we know that Sydney were on that sort of pace as well.
But in the end, Fremantle only had 32 inside 50s. You can't win a game of football with 32 inside 50s, and that was all because of Sydney's pressure in the middle of the ground.
Let's go to Rowan again.
Thanks, Matty. Well, Mummy, you would have been a nice and happy boy when Aaron Sandlands was going to line up today.
I was actually looking forward to the challenge, but I don't know. The ruck still did well against us today, so I don't know.
What about the year that you've had, though? You've been absolutely sensational. Everyone's been saying, you're virtually the recruit of the year, and propelling the Swans into the finals positions.
Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I don't know.
Look, it was a great effort by the boys today, especially in the midfield. We dominated, didn't you?
Did we?
Yeah, you certainly did.
Definitely a great win, and I think this will almost guarantee us a finals berth, so very happy.
Well done today, Mummy. Congratulations, mate.
You.
Rowan Smith with Shane Mumford in one of his hardest interviews for the year, I'd say, but he was influential in that last quarter. He got them going, together with Kieran Jack, together with Daniel Hanbury, and Lewis Cheddar with that individual goal was sensational. It's a gutsy win by the Swans, their first here against the Dockers at Subiaco since 1998. A wonderful performance. The final margin, 9 points.